Hello, this is 911.
Yes. My friend has just been shot.
Do you know who shot him?
There's a guy lying down like a sniper.
A sniper?
September 1st, 2016. 11 p.m. Carlsbad, California. Greg Mulvihill was shot by a trained Marine sniper hiding in camouflage in the bushes. The bullet entered under his left arm, missed his heart by 1 inch. Greg survived. When detectives investigated, they found something bizarre at the scene. A towel, covered in feces, left on the ground near where the shooter had been hiding. DNA from the towel matched a man named Weldon McDavid, a firearms instructor, former Marine, expert marksman. McDavid told police he'd been hired by Greg's ex-wife, Diana Lovejoy, a fitness instructor, mother to Greg's young son. Diana said she had no idea what McDavid was talking about. She was a terrified mother trying to protect her child from an abusive father. She would never hurt anyone. But prosecutors found a burner phone, purchased by Diana 2 weeks before the shooting, and testimony from Diana's aunt, who said Diana had asked her something a year earlier. "Can you help me find someone to kill Greg?"
I'm Diana Lovejoy, and quick meals are my specialty.
Diana Lovejoy seemed like someone who had it all together. She was a senior technical writer earning over $9,000 a month, a triathlete, a fitness instructor. She posted health and cooking videos on YouTube. She lived in Carlsbad, California, an affluent coastal city north of San Diego. Nice houses, clean streets. Diana met Greg Mulvihill in 2005 on a dating website. They married 2 years later, but the marriage wasn't easy. Diana suffered 8 miscarriages before finally giving birth to their son in 2012. After their son was born, Diana believed both she and the child suffered from mysterious illnesses. She thought she had fibromyalgia. She claimed their son had a kidney condition. Greg disagreed with her medical theories. He wanted their son evaluated by specialists at Children's Hospital. Diana refused. The disagreements created tension. Then in July 2014, Diana made a devastating accusation. She told people close to her that Greg had been drugging her and sexually assaulting her while she was unconscious. She also claimed Greg had abused their young son. A judge granted her a restraining order. Greg was removed from his own home based entirely on Diana's word. Greg was allowed only 10 hours per week with his son, always supervised. Diana had total control. Greg filed for divorce in August 2014. For over a year, Diana's story held. Greg was kept away from his son, treated like a stranger, supervised like a criminal. But then investigators looked into Diana's allegations. The sexual assault claims, the child abuse, all of it. They found nothing. Not one piece of evidence. Not one corroborating witness. The story that had kept Greg from his own son for over a year had nothing underneath it. In late 2015, a judge ordered the parents to share custody, 50/50. Diana fought this decision. She wanted sole custody, but by summer 2016, the court ruled definitively. Shared custody, equal time, and Diana would have to pay Greg $120,000 from the proceeds of their family home. Diana was furious. She didn't want to share custody. And she certainly didn't want to give Greg $120,000. That's when she started taking shooting lessons at a gun range in Oceanside. At the Iron Sights gun range, Diana met her firearms instructor, Weldon McDavid, 50 years old, former Marine, School of Infantry instructor, trained marksman. He taught Diana how to shoot. McDavid also installed a security system in Diana's home. He was married, but he and Diana became intimate. Diana told McDavid that Greg was abusing their son, that she'd been trying for years to get someone to do something about it, that Greg had threatened her, that she was afraid of him. McDavid believed her. He was furious on Diana's behalf. He promised to protect her, to help her with the custody battle. Maybe Diana really was terrified. Maybe she'd been failed by the system. She'd reported abuse. Investigators found nothing. But maybe they just didn't look hard enough. Maybe she felt trapped. Sharing custody with a man she believed was dangerous to her child. Maybe she turned to McDavid because she had no one else to turn to. Maybe everything that happened next was the desperate act of a mother trying to protect her son. On August 15th, 2016, Diana walked into a Best Buy. Surveillance footage showed her purchasing a track phone, a burner phone. 2 weeks later, on September 1st, 2016, Greg received a phone call from that burner phone. A man on the other end said he was a private investigator. He had damaging evidence about Diana, evidence that could help Greg in the custody case. The caller gave Greg specific instructions. Go to a dirt road off Avenida Soledad. There would be a package taped to a power pole. Documents inside. Greg felt uneasy. He called the Carlsbad Police Department first. The dispatcher said it was up to him whether to go. Greg called his boss and neighbor, Jason Kovach, asked him to come along. Kovac grabbed a baseball bat just in case. The two men drove to the location around 11 p.m. No package was taped to the pole. Greg started scanning the area with his flashlight. Then he saw something in the bushes about 60 feet away. A person, lying in a prone position, camouflage clothing, a rifle pointed directly at them. The shot came immediately. The bullet struck Greg under his left arm, missed his heart by 1 inch. Both men ran. Kovac heard more shots, felt bullets passing by him. Greg made it to the car. He was bleeding, getting dizzy. Kovac called 911. When police searched the crime scene, they found something strange. A towel, covered in feces. Folded and left on the ground near the bushes where the shooter had been hiding. DNA from the towel matched Weldon McDavid. He later admitted he had defecated in the bushes while waiting for Greg to arrive. Cell phone tower data placed both Diana and McDavid near the crime scene that night. Financial records showed Diana had paid McDavid $2,000. She gave him $1,000 upfront. Detectives found the AR-15 rifle used in the shooting in McDavid's garage, along with 7 spent shell casings, and the burner phone that had lured Greg to the dirt road, purchased by Diana 2 weeks before the shooting. But the most damning evidence came from Diana's own family. Diana's aunt took the witness stand. She testified that about a year before the shooting, Diana had asked her a question. "Can you help me find someone to kill Greg?" A full year before the ambush. This wasn't an impulsive decision. On the night of September 1st, 2016, Diana allegedly drove McDavid to the dirt road area. She dropped him off. McDavid brought his AR-15 rifle. He found a position in the bushes with a clear line of sight to the power pole. Then he waited. Around 10:45 p.m., McDavid used the burner phone Diana had purchased. He called Greg, posed as a private investigator, lured him to the exact spot where he was hiding. When Greg arrived and used his flashlight to search for the package, McDavid fired. The bullet missed Greg's heart by 1 inch. Greg survived, and the evidence Diana and McDavid left behind destroyed them both. November 13th, 2017, Vista Superior Court, California. Diana Lovejoy and Weldon McDavid stood trial for conspiracy to commit murder and attempted murder. McDavid testified in his own defense. He admitted he pulled the trigger, but he claimed it was an accident. He said he'd only meant to scare Greg. He was trying to shoot out the flashlight in Greg's hand, not hit Greg himself. The jury didn't buy it. McDavid was a former Marine, a School of Infantry instructor, an expert marksman. If he'd wanted to shoot out a flashlight, he would have. The jury deliberated for about half a day. Then they returned with their verdicts.
We, the jury, in the above entitled cause, find the defendant, Diana Jean Lovejoy, guilty of the crime of conspiracy to commit murder in violation of Penal Code Section 182, A.
And then just moments later,
We, the jury, in the above entitled cause, find the defendant, Weldon K. McDavid, guilty of the crime of conspiracy to commit murder.
Diana passed out right there in court. She collapsed. Paramedics wheeled her out on a gurney. Weldon McDavid was also found guilty on all charges. On January 31st, 2018, Judge Simon von Kalinowski sentenced Weldon McDavid to 50 years to life in prison. Diana Lovejoy was sentenced to 26 years to life. She was 45 years old. If she serves the minimum, she'll be 71 before she's eligible for parole. McDavid was 50. He'll be 100 before he's eligible. Greg Mulvihill recovered from his gunshot wound. He has full custody of his son. The bullet that entered under his armpit missed his heart by 1 inch. Had McDavid's aim been slightly different, Greg would not have survived. A year before the shooting, Diana asked her aunt, "Can you help me find someone to kill Greg?" Her aunt refused. So Diana found Weldon McDavid. She told him Greg was abusive, that she was terrified, that she needed protection. McDavid believed her. She paid him $2,000. She purchased a burner phone on August 15th, 2016. 2 weeks later, on September 1st, McDavid used that phone to lure Greg to a dirt road. When Greg arrived, McDavid shot him. The bullet missed Greg's heart by 1 inch. Diana claimed she knew nothing about it, but prosecutors found the burner phone purchase on surveillance footage. They found the $2,000 payment in financial records. They found McDavid's DNA on a towel left at the scene, and they found Diana's aunt, who testified that Diana had asked her to find a killer. A year before the shooting, Diana Lovejoy wasn't a terrified mother protecting her child. She was a woman who refused to lose, refused to share custody, refused to pay $120,000. So she hired a Marine sniper to kill the father of her child, and when the verdict was read, her body gave out. Because she'd played the terrified mother perfectly, until the evidence proved otherwise. She asked her aunt a year before, "Can you help me find someone to kill Greg?" The evidence proved she found someone. Subscribe to Her Case Files, cases that make you rethink everything.